The night sky over 1960s America was dark, but not as dark as the shadows of injustice that loomed over the nation. Segregation lines cut deep, dividing a people who shared the same soil. In city streets and rural towns, the cries for equality echoed, growing louder with each passing day. It was in this tumultuous time that a man stood before a sea of faces, his words about to ignite a flame of hope that would burn for generations. He looked out at the crowd, not because they were a multitude, but because in their eyes he saw the reflection of a dream that had traveled far in the darkness of oppression. "I have a dream," Martin Luther King Jr. declared, his voice resonating across the National Mall, carried by the winds of change to every corner of America. But how did we arrive at this moment? The story begins in the heart of the South, where a young Martin grew up witnessing the harsh realities of a divided nation. As a child, he felt the sting of prejudice, but also the warmth of a community united in faith and resilience. Years passed, and the seeds of change began to sprout. In Montgomery, a woman named Rosa Parks refused to give up her seat, and a movement was born. Martin, now a young pastor, found himself thrust into the spotlight of a bus boycott that would last 381 days. He didn't seek leadership, but leadership found him. As the civil rights movement gained momentum, so did the dangers. Threats came in whispers and shouts, in the dark of night and the light of day. But Martin pressed on, forming the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, a beacon for those seeking justice through nonviolent resistance. The march towards equality was long and treacherous. Each step forward was met with fierce opposition. Yet, in the face of fire hoses and police dogs, the movement grew stronger. Martin's words became a shield and a sword, protecting the vulnerable and cutting through the barriers of hate. Then came 1963, a year that would etch itself into the annals of history. The March on Washington was planned, a gathering to show the world the power of unity and the strength of a dream deferred but not defeated. In the days leading up to the march, Martin sequestered himself, poring over every word of his speech. The weight of expectation pressed down upon him like a heavy mantle. He knew this moment could change everything, or change nothing at all. Picture him there, in a dimly lit room, papers scattered across a desk, his brow furrowed in concentration, occasionally glancing at a photo of his children, reminding himself why this fight was so crucial. Outside, the world waited with bated breath. As he stepped up to the podium on that fateful day, the air was electric with anticipation. The crowd stretched as far as the eye could see, a tapestry of faces united in hope. Martin began his prepared remarks, his words painting a picture of an America that could be. But then, something magical happened. Mahalia Jackson, the Queen of Gospel, called out from behind him, "Tell them about the dream, Martin." It was a moment of divine inspiration, a nudge from the universe itself. Martin paused, pushed his prepared text aside, and spoke from the depths of his soul. "I have a dream," he began. And with those 4 words, he lifted the crowd to their feet and a nation to its conscience. The impact of that speech rippled through time like a stone cast into still waters. The Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965 followed, landmark legislation that began to turn the dream into reality. But the path of progress is never smooth. In 1968, a shot rang out in Memphis, and the dreamer fell silent. The nation mourned, but the dream did not die. It lived on in the hearts of those who heard it, who believed in it, who fought for it. Today, we see echoes of that dream in every corner of the globe. From the streets of Ferguson to the squares of Hong Kong, people still march for justice, still lift their voices against oppression. As the sun sets on another day, children of all colors play together in parks that were once segregated. Their laughter is the sound of progress, their friendship the fulfillment of a prophecy spoken long ago. And so, as we look to the stars tonight, let us remember not just their beauty, but how far their light has traveled to reach us. Let us remember that even in the darkest of nights, hope can shine bright. For in the words of Martin Luther King Jr., we are reminded that dreams have the power to illuminate the path forward, guiding us towards a brighter, more just tomorrow.